I'm being an umbrella. Hello my lovelies, my name is Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. So in this week's video, I wanted to talk about the differences between being transgender and being transsexual. Before I get started, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the little notification bell. You know you want to, please do it. Go on, you know you want to. It's just down there, it's just over there. You got it? Amazing. And if you feel so inclined, please feel free to subscribe to my second channel, My Crazy Trans Life, which I will link just up here. So, transgender versus transsexual. What are the definitions, differences, and why am I making this video? Well, I'll answer the last part of that question first because I like to keep you guys on your toes. I am making this video because since my surgery and ever since kind of going through my adult life and pursuing kind of medical changes to my physical self, my identity in terms of whether I'm transgender or transsexual has kind of altered quite a lot as I've grown older, because I'm now starting to identify myself more as transsexual than I am as transgender. So it's really important to premise the fact that in the transgender community, identifying as transgender or transsexual, it means something different to each individual member of the community. Being trans is such a personal and individual thing, so these are just my ideas of what these things mean to myself. So what is the definition of being transgender? So Oxford English Dictionary describe being transgender as a person whose sense of personal identity and gender does not correspond with their birth sex. And the definition of being transsexual is a person who emotionally and physiologically feels that they belong to the opposite sex. So those are the actual definitions. So I know what you guys are thinking. They sound really similar, and they are, but they do encompass some main differences. Some of the main differences do come from the actual definitions, but some of the main differences come from how the words have been used differently in society and in the modern age. So the way I always break it down is that being transgender or identifying as transgender is an umbrella term. Being transgender encompasses many, many different facets of being trans. And as the definition kind of signifies, it encompasses the idea that your personal identity is different or is somehow kind of misaligned to the one that you may have been assigned at birth. So I always think of transgender as kind of the umbrella term. That's an umbrella, I don't know if you can tell, I'm being an umbrella. So that's the kind of umbrella term. And then transsexual is kind of a subsection of that. So it is still covered by the transgender umbrella, but it's very specific. So historically and medically, being a transsexual was used to indicate the difference between their gender identity, which is their internal perceptions of their gender, and the sex that they were assigned at birth, whether that be male, female, or intersex. More kind of specifically, the term transsexual is used to refer to people who have actively transitioned via a medical route. So transgender is kind of the feeling and the identity of not identifying with your original kind of gender and things like that. But being transsexual means you've taken medical steps to actively change your sex. Or that's at least how I view it and how it's kind of perceived in kind of medical dictionaries, that that's the road you go down when you want to identify physically as your chosen sex. Now this can include many different things such as hormone changes, or if you're like myself, then surgeries to help affirm your gender and alter your physical sex and physical being. So that's kind of how I break it down, being that transgender is more of the feeling and the emotion, and that transsexual is more of the physical act of changing your sex and your physical being. Despite the kind of huge kind of glaring similarities between the two, a lot of trans people do not enjoy being referred to as transsexual. This is because it is, one, not an umbrella term like transgender is, but two, it's also been used incredibly negatively throughout history. So finding the term transsexual as offensive is not an uncommon thing, and many people within the transgender community do find it really transsexual. So you should never refer to a trans individual as transsexual unless kind of specifically requested to. This is mainly because of its kind of professional roots in medicine and in psychology throughout history, where the term transsexual was used incorrectly to label all transgender individuals as mentally ill or kind of sexual deviants. So the reason that the word has such kind of a stigmatism to it is it's almost kind of a slur. It was used to kind of not only degrade everyone of trans experience historically, but also it was used as a way to label someone as mentally ill or sexually deviant. So now that that's out of the way, I wanted to kind of talk about how I feel and how I'm currently identifying. So I have always referred to myself as transgender under the umbrella term existing my life and doing all of that with gender dysphoria and being a transgender individual. But as I've grown and have actively altered my body, taken hormones, injected blockers, and finally gone through my gender reassignment surgery in February of this year, I'm identifying more as being transsexual because in my mind, I have physically altered my sex and my being to closer resemble and identify the one that I feel I have. So my name is Stephanie and I am a transsexual YouTuber. It feels really weird to say that because I've always thought of being transgender, but now I'm thinking I'm transsexual and it's my journey and that's how I feel. So now that I am fully transitioned, I feel that I identify as transsexual. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it kind of cleared up the differences between being transgender and being transsexual and things like that. If you have any questions or feel like I've missed anything out of this video, please comment them just down below and I will get back to you and kind of talk to you about it and things like that. If this video's helped you, then I would love to hear about it as well. As I said in the beginning of this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Click the subscribe button if you want to see more of me and the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my cool updates. And also subscribing to my second channel, which I will be linking in the description just down below. That was a lot of talking. I feel like I've rambled for a really, really long time. So I will see you lovelies very soon for another video. Bye!